What is going on, everybody?
Hey guys. Yeah, we're gonna have to close this one.
We're gonna have to close that back again. Yeah.
Dun, dun,
Oh,
dun.
there you go.
So
Look at
much
that.
better. So much better.
I looked better without light on my face.
With light shining behind us.
Yeah, we need a bright light behind us, so I'm just dark. I look much better in the dark.
Hey
What's
guys.
happening, everybody?
I'm just trying to see who's here. He's like Mr. Kevin, Mr. John, Mark. There's a sound I think there is coming out from somewhere.
Well, the sound is coming out from somewhere.
Yeah.
It's supposed to come out from somewhere.
No, there was like an echo here.
Oh, that's coming out of Lorena's phone. Hello, hello. It is the end of June 2025.
Oh my God. Is this half year? No, there's still 1 month, isn't it? No. This is the end of the already half year have passed.
Yeah, half a year gone down the tubes.
Holy crap, that is fast.
Crazy, right?
I know. It's like my mom told me, wait until you get older, time goes faster. True.
It certainly does.
So I'm sure it gets very fast for you.
See the abuse I have to put up with, folks?
Just saying. Just saying.
Just saying. How is everybody doing all over the world? Brenda Bingo Costa is in the house. What's Rochia? Rochia. I got to hear that story.
And finally my time. I made it to life only because it's too hot outside. I know there's a heat wave and we can feel it. It's like it's just hot. I don't think we have felt this hot since Mexico.
No, yeah, we're really feeling Mexico. Last weekend wasn't. We were in a beautiful spot last weekend.
No, I will say all the time has not been that way. Today has been
the hottest since we've been back to the US.
Since we've been back. And even Paul mentioned is like when the water's coming hot out of the faucet without having the heater on,
yeah,
it's a little bit too hot.
Yeah, when you can shower without having to turn your water heater on, you know that it's not good. But last weekend we were up in Idlewild here in the mountains, and it was just perfect. It was so good up there. It was just absolutely stunningly beautiful.
I would say awesome. It was a little bit even too chill there, like up there. At night, literally Paul woke up in the middle of the night and told me,
yeah,
he was like, I'm cold. So,
I was cold in the middle of the night. Absolutely.
Luckily, I have like a blanket, an extra blanket next to us, and covered him. But yeah, it was chill up there. When you're used to the hot nowadays, it's like it's weird when you go to a cold place because I'm sure it's not cold for the people there. It was just cold for us coming from the heat.
Kevin says y'all are looking hot. I'm assuming he's talking about you, not about me.
I'm assuming he talks about weather.
It could be. That's what he's saying. Yeah, hot as in weather hot, not hot as in attractive hot.
Yeah,
yes,
if we have that glow, like a little bit flushed red, it's because of the heat.
Exactly.
Hot heat.
Exactly. We do have the fan blowing on us. I could turn it on full and then the wind would be blowing my hair back. It would be amazing.
Yeah, so it's our first live back in the US. I think last time we were actually traveling north, isn't it? Or we were still in No, we were still in Los Barriles. We were about to leave Los Barriles.
Oh, that's right.
So that was our last live. It was our last live in Mexico and our first live here in the US. I have to say, after 2.5 years of not being here, definitely a culture shock in many, many ways. The first one and the most obvious one, sticker shock.
Yeah.
On many things.
On many things.
Not everything.
Not everything, because there are some things in Mexico that are expensive. One of the ladies was saying that the other day in one of the videos that, like, oh, I thought Mexico was super cheap. And we're like, yeah, it is in certain respects, like around food and things like that. But when it comes to, like, parts and things that have to be imported, it's brutal.
Car parts has been cheaper here. Like right now we're dealing, after the RV did its thing and now we're out of it. Now the car is designed to not play along. And Paul has been having to fix some stuff and replace some stuff in the car. But parts have been cheaper here.
Yeah.
It would have been in Mexico, that will have been more expensive.
For some reason, the car has gone down in sympathy with Freya.
Oh my goodness. That started happening, what was 10 days ago?
Yeah, as soon as we got into the US, then the car just started falling apart.
It was the second day across the border into the US. He just like started overheating out of nowhere. We don't know. So yeah, oh my goodness.
Yeah, so that's not been fun. But
anyway, going back to sticker shock, that was one. But I would say groceries, vegetables, I don't know, because we're in California and that they grow a lot of vegetables, seem to be cheaper.
Vegetables,
or cheap.
vegetables are
cheaper.
not bad in California. They've
California
been pretty decently priced, yeah.
And I get to get a lot of my, for me, they're like not exotic, but stuff that we don't get in Mexico that much, like all the berries. Only strawberries over there, but raspberries, blueberries, blackberries, all that kind of stuff. It's hard to find, and if you find them, they're very expensive, and they're not that good because they have traveled all the way down there. So coming back to the U.S. and right now I'm on berry land. I'm like eating all the berries right now.
Every day there seems to be raspberries and blueberries on our plates and stuff. So yeah, Lori's got her berry on.
I told Paul, there's antioxidants. Come on, you need to eat them. That's my excuse.
Lori's got her berry on. Those are grapes. Those are different. Those are her kind of favorite berry.
It's the last Saturday. I mean, it wouldn't be a last Saturday without the beverage. So.
And what are you drinking for last Saturday, Lori?
It's my last acquisition from Mexico. It was my last bottle from Mexico, and it's a reserve. It's a tempranillo. I don't know how to call that. That's a kind of grape, but it's a Spanish wine. I would say, even though it's a reserve, 260, the whole thing, not my favorite wine. It's a little bit too dry for me.
Faustino Rivero Ulesia. Or something close to that.
Say that 10 times.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So.
And I, of course, have Dr. Pete.
Oh, yeah. We came back.
Got the soda stream fired back up again.
Stream. So, no more canned stuff. So,
yeah.
But he's happy with it. I don't think, like, is it good? Is it Dr. Pepper quality good?
No, it's not as good as Dr. Pepper, but
he had like Pepsi Zero the other day. And that was very good.
I had SodaStream Pepsi Zero, and that was actually pretty darn good. I don't mind the Dr. Pete. It's weird taste in it. I mean, it's not Dr. Pepper, but it is what it is. It saves having a bunch of cans in the house. Dan and Ellen are in. Hey guys, what's happening?
Yeah.
Mr. Robato's in the house. Now, before we get any further, everyone, huge shout out to Aid Collins. It is 1 a.m. in the UK, and Aid is on here hanging out.
It's impressive, Aid.
Impressive, Aid.
I'm assuming you're a night owl because you have to be up at this time of the night.
Basically, you're saying that Aid is old too. I think you would be right in that respect.
I said night owl.
Well,
he likes night more than morning.
You're basically saying you must be a night owl because you're an old dude and you're staying up till 1 a.m.
I didn't say that at all. Like zero. He's starting to lose it. I'm sorry. He's like, so yeah, I see a lot of familiar faces here. Some of them that I don't know their names, so that's kind of cool. It's like, here we are. So another cultural shock you had coming back, Paul.
The roads have like there's shoulders on them, like this much shoulder on a 2-lane road. It's amazing. It is absolutely incredible. You're not driving down a road where the white line is missing every now and then. So that's pretty cool. Even going up into the mountains, like driving up into Idlewild, a ridiculously steep climb up in there on a nasty, windy 2-lane road. But it wasn't scary because the road is wide enough that it's just not scary. So yeah, it was pretty good.
Except for the like 15 seconds around a hill that's too tight and everybody's passing you at the same time.
I mean, there are some spots where the cars are driving a little bit nuts, but those are commuters that know the road, and so they're up and down there all the time. But the one good culture shock is just, again, everything's available. We're in Central California right now, around Menifee.
Especially in this area, because we have been up on the mountains and they're not so much.
No, not up there. But down here, you can literally order something on Amazon, and even without Prime, it's here in 2 or 3 days.
But my mom is one of the first things that she asked me after being here a week. Is like, so how you feel being back where there is shopping everywhere and everything is available? And I was like, I haven't been there. It took us about 10 days before we actually were in an area with all the shops and the stores and the Targets and the Home Depots and Lowe's and all that kind of stuff. So it took a while, but once we got there, no joking, I went to Lowe's to pick up something and I needed a totally different thing from Target. So I told Paul, I'm gonna go Target to go to Lowe's. That's it. I walked with the shopping cart and it was like, oh my God, this is massive. It's like, where do I go? Where's the groceries? I was in the center of the store. I didn't know where was the grocery section. I have to kind of like go and find it, and I have to walk to find it. So it was coming from a small town Mexico where grocery stores literally you go around it in 15 minutes or less. This was just massive. And the same thing he said the same thing about Lowe's. It's like, oh my god, all the things I have not seen in a long time.
We needed a little a closer for one of the drawers here. This will make Kevin laugh. It's a closer that does this, and so we needed this part.
We're trying to keep it.
And we needed this part, not this part, but this part. And so I walked into Lowe's and they had it. Like they just wouldn't have had that in Mexico anywhere. So that was cool. And anyway, I did say muchas gracias to the guy in Lowe's, where he looked at me kind of funny after he helped me with that, because I'm so used to answering people in Spanish now. And even at the restaurant the other morning, we answered in Spanish because it was a Spanish waitress, and it came out. But that wound up being pretty fun, anyways. But yeah, just the accessibility. What's that?
Sick and to call you per for that.
Oh man! See, Kevin said the story of his life. He's got this part, doesn't have this part.
Oh my god, these guys! Even when Kevin is not here live, there's still things like that going on. Yeah, but definitely the amount. But we got sticker shock when we went.
Oh my god!
Had breakfast in this place.
No, Carl's Jr.
Oh yeah, that
was the first sticker shock.
That was a necessary stop because the car was overheating. We need to do a stop, and we're like, we need to find in Palm Springs a shade. So we found a tree. We put the car under it, and we went to Carl's Jr. to have a drink and just fries. That's it. Drink and just fries. So how much was it?
So we went to Carl's Jr. One, because we wanted the Beyond Star, which is like a Beyond Burger at Carl's Jr.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So the first thing they tell us, they don't do that anymore. We were like, well then, we don't need to eat here. And I'm like, well, while we're here, let's get some of the waffle fries. So we got 2 orders of waffle fries and 2 drinks, and it was $18.50. I was like, what in the heck just happened? I was like, that is nuts for fries and a Coke, $9 a piece. I was like, wow. So that was the first sticker shock when we got here to the U.S. And then breakfast,
Well, breakfast, we were shooting something, different place, and we want to have breakfast in that area. And we found this super cool diner, like old school diner. And it's kind of cool because it's this old building, but it's surrounded by new buildings. So it's just kind of like this cool place. And when Paul paid, now with tip and everything, it was what, like $60?
It was close to $60 for our breakfast. It was just insane.
It was ridiculous. We're like,
it was just ridiculous.
No more. Not for now.
I threw up in my mouth a little. Just
the
breakfast when I got the check.
Well, the nice story about that restaurant too is that the busboy, he was so excited about talking to us and talking to Paul in Spanish.
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
Paul told him, he's like, my Spanish is not very good. Told him in Spanish that, and he's like, no, it's great. They kept talking to him in Spanish.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. That was pretty fun. But yeah, really cool restaurant. That'll be out in the next video. I know this last one with the battery install is just kind of black, but the next one will be a little bit more fun stuff that we were doing. And then we've got some really cool stuff planned for the future. So
yeah, we still have to test the batteries because we have been plugged in because of the ACs and that. But we are testing them very soon. We're gonna be basically boondocking very soon. So we're gonna give them a good test. Yeah,
literally I have the battery charger turned off right now. It's not even on, and the solar will not produce power. It won't charge anything if the batteries are already up, and so the batteries are already up, so the solar doesn't even produce anything. And yeah, until we get out and do some boondocking, which we're going to do here in the next couple of weeks. We're going to head up to Big Bear and do some boondocking up there. But we're still hanging out kind of in Southern California. We went back into the 1,000 Trails thing, and we're doing that 4-day. For those of you who are in the 1,000 Trails, you kind of get that. You can do 4 days, switch to another park. If you're in the, we just did a camping pass because we still don't know what we're going to do yet. But if you have a camping pass, you can go 4 days from park to park to park. So we've been bouncing around Southern California doing that. It's a pain in the ass, moving every 4 days. We are going to be coming back up to here in Menifee and spending some more time here, but for now we're just kind of bouncing around, and then we're gonna go boondock up in the mountain to get out of the heat here in August. So that'll be good, and that'll be a good test of the batteries as well, because we'll be on battery power only.
Last night, I'm not joking, it was like 4 in the morning, and I started smelling whole nose. I have a hyper nose, like I can smell anything and everything. It's a good thing when it comes stuff like that, like if there's an emergency. But it's not some bad thing when you have a bad smell around and I cannot get rid of it.
What are you saying, Lori?
I'm just saying I have a hyper nose.
Okay, all right, it's bad for me.
Last night, it was 4 in the morning, and it woke me up the smell, and it was burned plastic, burned wiring, like electrical stuff. And I was like, holy crap. And I just, before I woke him up, I was like, I'm gonna see if it's us, if it's here. Otherwise, I'm not gonna wake him up. But it's like, it really concerned me. And the first thing that came to my mind is like, the batteries, like they're brand new. Maybe there was something
Paul
wrong.
installer, bro.
I don't want to say that, but I thought maybe there was something. And it's like, I came to the front of the RV, and there was no smell on the front of where the batteries are, close to where they are. And I smelled outside this window and realized it was coming from the outside. And I knew it was not me crazy, because even though Ozzy was on the windows trying to smell whatever it was. So I didn't wake you up. Unless I knew it was a neighbor or something like that, I would wake you up.
Fred and Lynn's in the house now.
Yeah. It's like, I see a lot of people. Oh, Linda said about the sticker shock in Key Largo. Oh, the keys are way up there when it comes to sticker shock. It's like, so you guys living there full time? It's like, I can see that.
Yeah, somebody said the battery installation video was fun watching me sweat. So, yeah, a little quick note on that. Yeah, when this company reached out, I was like, oh yeah, absolutely. You know, what batteries are we getting? And they go, we've got these 280 amp hour batteries. And I was like, yeah, that's awesome. I'll do those. Can you send me 2? They were going to send 1. I said, can you send me 2? And they were like, yeah, we can send you 2. I'm like, awesome. And then they arrived, and our friends Craig and Kelly had them in Palm Springs for us. When I opened the door of their shed and I saw the size of the box, I was like, oh no.
OMG.
Like, this isn't, I don't know if this is a good thing or not. And so we brought them home, and I opened the box up, and I'm going, oh, these aren't going to fit under the stairs. So I measured the stairs, and I was like, nope, they're not going underneath there. And then when I went out and measured outside, I was like, oh no, what am I going to do? And I thought, you know, I had wires running under the bed in the back, or I'd have to remove half of our stuff from underneath the dinette and mount them under there, or figure out something else. I was like sweating it for a little bit until my brain started to work again. And I'm like, okay, if I take off some of the trim, then it fits, as you guys saw in the video. And able to fit them both underneath there, saves us some weight. And now there's nothing under the stairs, so now we can put stuff under the stairs. I don't know why we would do that, but if we wanted to add just lead weights, just so that we, you know, still have the weight.
It could be a shoe area.
It could be a shoe area, yeah. Could
so
be that.
Put them out of the way.
Dirty shoes, drop them in there.
Yeah.
Do that. There's still some wiring in there though, so I don't want to do too much of that.
Okay.
But the install itself actually wasn't that bad. So because the batteries only are just over 60 pounds, it was easy to drop them up in there. A lot harder to get the 80-pound batteries out. It was awesome.
Mr. Roberto says using the metric system tape measure in the U.S. bold move.
Yeah. I got so used. It has inches on it, but the metric system's better. It just is.
Easier.
I will fight you. The metric system is better.
It's
just easier. It's easier to do calculations. It's easy. It's just easier, and it's more precise. You know, 53 millimeters, 54 millimeters, 55 millimeters, rather than an 1/8, a 16th, 3/32 seconds, 5/23.
And installing the batteries
30 seconds.
came down to millimeters.
Yeah, and installing the batteries was kind of millimeters. So yeah, it's just an easier system. And a large majority of the United States is already on the metric system, but we don't even realize it, because, you know, when we're talking about milliliters and liters and all that kind of stuff in a lot of various things, that we just don't even realize that we're partially there, but not quite right there.
Yeah.
So
a lot of people know that liter size Coke.
Yeah, 2 liter Coke,
or
right?
2 liter Coke, yeah. So it's like still being used somehow somewhere.
Or cc's of medicine, cubic centimeters.
And Mr. Roto also said using the hoping for the classic Tabasco T-shirt appearance in a video. Well, it's kind of about to retire a lot of shirts right now. Like they're already.
I've had them forever.
Not only haven't. I'm all about reuse, recycle, and what's the other one? I'm missing one. One of the 3 R's.
Abuse.
It's like.
Oh, I'm just talking. I was about me.
But it's like, so I'm like, wear everything until really it's falling apart, and then get whatever is new. I'm not buying into the whole like getting rid of subculture and all that kind of stuff. I'm very much like that. I'm very crazy about it.
Yeah.
But with that being said, the shirts that he has, some of them is like already, the neck is already like that. So I already told him those can be your work shirts, Paul.
And I'm not good at changing before I start working on the car. Yeah. I start working on the car and then I look down and like, oh no, I shouldn't be wearing this shirt.
With permanent stains.
Yeah. But so we're just gonna have to go back to Avery Island, I think it was, and go back to the Tabasco factory and get more.
You didn't get it there though.
Oh, I didn't get it there. That's right. My daughter sent it to me.
Ali gave it to you.
That's right.
As a Christmas present. That one right. And the Bob Ross.
And the Bob Ross one. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
We can still go to Avery Island.
But as if you guys are traveling in an RV, you know, you only have so much space. So, you know, I have, I don't know, 20 t-shirts and that's it. And they just kind of roll through those. And then now this is just a shirt I got at Costco here because I had another nice shirt that I worked on the car in and torched it. So then I had to get another shirt. So.
Thank you, Kevin. Reduce. Yes. It's like Cindy, we have a new lithium battery for the camper, but Ed will have to remove the oven for it to fit anywhere. Well, yeah, you have a smaller rig, so yeah, it's like your setup has to be space is prime.
Yeah, so, you don't need an oven.
If I'm honest with you, I don't need an oven.
You don't need an oven. Just put a battery and take the oven out.
I know that people love it, and they tell me they roast stuff and they make cookies there and all that stuff. I have the microwave convection oven. That's what I use for cookies. If I'm gonna do something like that, that's what I use. I have never. When is the last time I used the oven? The actual stove oven thing. When is the last time?
I don't know. What day was it? You were holding my head in there, hoping that I would pass out. Last week. So last week.
Like literally never. I have never ever. I would have rather have that space for a drawer to put pots and pans than have an oven. That's kind of
what we use it for. We use it for pots and pans.
Pots and pans, yeah, pretty much. So.
Yeah. You have to get creative sometimes with some of the RVs because they're just not meant for upgrades. They're meant to be set in their way and then no upgrade.
So 8 says lithium batteries are still expensive in the UK. Like.
Oh really?
Well,
they've come down in many ways. Obviously, American batteries are still fairly pricey, but there's a lot of companies now that it's getting better. It is getting better.
Donald Santiago, you need to head to the coast to cool off. Yeah, yesterday we were on the coast because from where we are, it's about an hour and a half drive, about that. So we went yesterday. But
20 degrees cooler, 25 degrees cooler.
Oh my God, max temperature in the coast was 77 degrees. That was max temperature. And you can see the people also sweating over there. But we crossed the hill back and it was high 80s and it was already later in the day, almost at night. So yeah, huge difference, definitely. The bad thing about the coast, almost nowhere you can camp. Yeah. Everything is full or everything is ridiculous. I was looking at state parks. I was looking at city parks where we used to stay a few years ago, and they have double the price. It's like it's crazy. We have a reservation that we have stayed there many years before, and it was back then $35. This time was $60.
Rincon Parkway.
Yeah. So yeah, things really have. Going back to the sticker shock, that has been a sticker shock.
Yeah, how many pairs of shoes do you both have now? I had to get a new pair of sandals yesterday because I blew my sandals out at the beach.
Tell them doing what?
I was climbing on the rocks, but
he was descending on the rocks, literally with a massive ocean wave coming in, and he wanted to get the wave. I don't know, like.
I want to get a good shot
of a good video. That he jumped down onto the rocks on the jetty. and he almost went down because his
blew out my sandal, and
yeah.
I almost want to head over tea kettle into the ocean.
And he may cut it of the video, but I said aloud in the video, if he has an accident where he has to go into diapers because of something he did like that direct lens, I'm not changing his diapers. I said many times, say it again.
But as far as shoes, I don't know. I think maybe 3 or 4 pairs, 5 pairs, 6. How many pairs do we have?
We sell a lot. I need to get rid of shoes, but Paul, that used to be the one that had the most.
Yeah, I used to have like 25 pairs.
You're down like to 8, 9, something like that. 8 or 9 pairs.
But what do I wear mostly? My flip flops. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, since
morning, noon, and night flip flops.
When I met him, he will not even wear closed-toe sandals. I mean, I don't know how to call those. It's like they're like sandals, hiking sandals. No, not shoes, because they have like the little straps. Or he will not even wear those. He's like that's not my thing. He will go to the beach in running shoes and socks, and he will have to take them off to
my Canadian side.
Yes, and somehow it transformed him. Oh no, I think it's when we went to I don't know if California or Florida, and they make you basically wear sandals.
Yeah, when you cross the border in Florida, you have to turn in your shoes, and they give you sandals, and then you're good.
And from there,
same thing in Baja.
There was never going back. It has been sandals since then, all the time, everywhere. Sometimes it's embarrassing when we go to nice places.
Why? Why is it embarrassing? I have beautiful feet. You just show them off.
No, but there's certain places you should not bring.
Well,
flip-flops.
Probably I shouldn't put my feet up on the table, but wearing flip-flops is fine.
That too, not flip-flops too. Yeah, it's a thing. That's become a thing. I know.
It's fine. It's fine.
The things we need to put up with, ladies. Am I right? Anyway, and for me,
Linda and Jerry are in the house.
For me, I'm not gonna answer how many pairs of shoes because I need to get rid of shoes.
Linda and Jerry, we found out living here in the Keys with our Mexican friends, they only use their oven to store pots and pans. Yeah, see?
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't do a lot of baking. It's a lot of like pans and stuff, pans and pots and things.
So, a lot of people I know they're with us. It's like very few people really use oven, and there's people that really like their oven. I mean, that's fine. Mm-hmm. It's like now I travel also with an air fryer where I can do a lot of my oven things. It's like, so, yeah, no.
Yeah, Mr. Roboto, $750 for scratch and dent 100 amp hour lithiums. Yeah, when Kevin and I initially installed ours, lithium batteries were insane. It was $10 an amp hour basically. Battleborn and them were right around $1,000 for 100 amp hour, and yeah, at that time that's when I went with the AGMs. And I don't know. I mean, if I look at it, those AGMs lasted 7 years, and they were $1,200. I think they were $350 a piece. So I think they were $1,400, but they rock. They were really an awesome battery. I would have went with Full River Lithium if they made them. They just don't. I really liked their batteries, and they just were great for us. But they weren't. And then, like I said, this company just happened to reach out, and I was like, man, the price of the stuff, and looking at some of the other stuff. Lifetime has some great prices, and trying to think of some of the others, but yeah, pretty crazy.
Mr. Roboto, they actually taught us the metric system in elementary schools in the 1970s in preparation for a switch that never happened.
What's that?
He studied the metric system for the switch that never happened.
Yes. Who was that?
Mr. Roboto.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Aid, I own 2 metric 10 mils, and at least I need probably 2 or 3 sets of sockets. I have a deep socket in metric, deep socket set. Yeah, I gotta have my metric sockets, dude.
Yeah. So I think for the most part, everybody now has lithium. For what I see, most people have lithium now. We're like late adopters.
Yeah, we were late adopters. Of course, Kevin, he was right in there. He got in good.
He was an early adopter, so much that he paid big bang for his lithium batteries. You know what? You don't have to disclose how much. I just know his system was a lot of money. I do remember that.
Oh, but it's badass. It was super high tech at the time when he got it. It was like the best of the best stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Anthony is here. Anthony, know me. I don't know if she's not
hey guys.
There, but
hola, Anthony.
They're still in Los Barriles, more specifically Campamento, but yet Barriles here. How is the heat over there? I just literally just hung out with my mom a little few minutes ago before the live, and she's like, it's hot. So everybody's feeling it.
What are our travel plans? We're kind of just hanging in Southern California, in the kind of either in the mountains or on the, I'd like to be on the coast. It's just so hard here camping on the coast because it's just ridiculously expensive.
Or not available.
Or not available, right.
Even on the campgrounds inland, there is no availability.
Yeah.
It's I think it's become more of a challenge as an RVer. So many people went full time. Now we see so many full time families. Before we will see the other one. Now there is so many full time families. So I think it became a thing after COVID, after pandemic, and now with all the channels also promoting that stuff.
Yeah.
That now it's hard to find places for a long periods of time. But we just know we're gonna be in California for sure. Don't think we're gonna make it to Oregon.
No, we're not going that far.
Because we're really late in the year, so and we're traveling slow. So yeah, we're not gonna that far north. But Anthony is 102 on the van today in Los Barriles. Yeah. I can see
Kevin,
that.
remember the fire with the boxes that came in? Do you remember that?
Whoa.
We almost burned down Doheny Beach State Park.
There was, I don't know if it was bushes, I don't know if it was a tree next to it, but I remember it was so close. We were.
What a disaster. That wood was like the craziest firewood ever. It was so, what's the word? I mean, dry, obviously, but it went up like a matchstick. Holy smokes.
Instead of breaking down and putting little by little pieces of wood, no, it was a lot. So.
Oh, it was so scary.
It was scary. And now, here
so
in California, obviously, because of the fires that happened in the past, there is like no fires allowed, no fireworks allowed. Even right now, 4th of July, obviously the cities are gonna have their fireworks, but they're not fireworks allowed between citizens. So yeah, it's like big fire danger. So I don't think people have flying that fire back then that nicely. People have not seen it that nicely back then, or nowadays.
102.
Yeah.
Holy smokes! Yeah, that's crazy. Don't forget to change your charger profile. I know I act like a complete goofball on the channel and stuff, guys, but yeah, the profiles have been changed on the charger. Profiles have been changed on the solar. I mean, you literally can't charge a lithium battery on a regular charger. They'll never get to 100%. So yeah, that stuff's already been changed. But appreciate you checking in on me.
More face right, 57 degrees in Juneau. He puts a cold face. Yes, it's like Paul. He told me I will never live over there. He would rather be warm than being cold and being wet all the time.
Yeah.
So it's like, but 57 is like, that's low for summer.
Mark says you can't get fireworks to light here. Yeah, because everything's freaking soaking wet 24/7.
Imperial RVing, are you going to Portside this year? No, we're not. It's like we did it twice, and I think that was enough.
Yeah, no desire really to go to Portside.
Going back. I mean, I know it's all about the community and get together with people, but I think twice was enough. If we happen to be in the area, maybe we'll consider it, but it's not like there's any plans whatsoever to go back to Portside.
And we were in a dusty area for 2.5 years.
Yeah.
In Los Barriles, just dust.
It feels nice to wipe down my kitchen on my table and stay clean for days at a time.
Yeah.
And not do it like 3 times a day.
Not feeling like there's sand on the floor all the time.
Yeah. It's like also your feet always so dry because so dusty, so sandy everywhere. Yes. I'll say that has been a nice thing coming back here.
Yep. Dave and Shirley in the house. Hey guys, long time no see. Somebody said they know where we want to go, Paul. Who is eczema?
Eczema. Like having eczema?
No, it's like Sexema and four
from Florida.
From Florida, yes, obviously.
I'm not sure like who this.
Are you chasing 21 degrees temperature on this trip? Kind of. Yeah, that would be perfect.
Is that 75?
What? 21 degrees Celsius. Double it and add 30, Lori.
Like, really?
So ready? Yeah, that's how you do Celsius. I mean, it gets you in the ballpark. So 21, double it, 42, 30, 72. It's going to be between 70 and 75.
I mean, I know from Mexico I should know better Celsius, but I don't. Actually, I have got used to seeing the temperatures here in Fahrenheit all the time that now my gauge is Fahrenheit. So, yeah, I have a hard time.
Yep.
But yeah, we're always chasing the nice weather. That's why we're going to stay on the mountains, like, so we can be in nice weather.
Oh Jesus, that's it's Michael DeBold. What is up with your handle, dude? Did you fall asleep on the keyboard when you were signing on to YouTube today? So Mr. Eczema 4 times 108 thing. That is my buddy Mike from Walt Disney World. Him and I were bus drivers together, and now he's working on getting to run the place so that I can go back to work.
All to go back, but
yeah.
No, Mike. No, not gonna happen. I was gonna say, Collins, they banned those Chinese lanterns on all campsites in the UK.
Oh, they should ban them
everywhere.
Everywhere. Like they were sending them off in Quartzsite one year, and it was landing freaking us out.
People's rigs. It's like
in the middle of the desert where everything is a matchstick, and these guys are sending up Chinese lanterns and having them land in bushes, and it was ridiculous. And then there's people tenting and people in RVs, and these lanterns that are on fire or landing on it was not good. I wish they would ban them here too. And we were somewhere recently where they were letting them go. I think it was in Mexico. We were letting them go, and then they're just floating out and falling into the ocean. I was like, oh come on, man, this is just anyways, rant over.
Okay. Coming up. Like, so my default says this account is approaching like 20 years, so that's why he has that handle.
Ah, okay.
20 years? You're like 25. What are you talking about? Like, we updated our batteries to lithium thanks to Kevin and Don Klein.
Oh, cool.
Oh, yeah.
Were they in Banff?
Actually, John message and said, it's like, basically, when are you doing the next caravan to Mexico? So he's like, there's a few people up for a caravan to Mexico. Just saying. Paul says, no way he's driving the RV back down to Mexico in those roads.
And I just don't.
He says that right now, but just wait.
I just don't like the responsibility either of bringing that many people down on that dangerous ass road. It's just so brutal.
Dangerous for a day.
It's dangerous for a couple. Yeah, you're right. It's dangerous for a half a day. A half a day of the road just being insanely narrow and scary.
Yeah, after that has gotten a lot better. They have done a good job widening it 4 inches, so it gives you a little bit of extra room there.
But the method that we took, as you guys saw in the video, was I would slow down to 10 miles an hour and just hug the side as much as possible and have the truck just roll by. I need to replace that mirror, by the way. I still have the little gimpy mirror out the one side.
He keeps forgetting. You're like, Deb Snowden. That's funny, Paul. I just said to Randy, you should come up to Banff again. LOL. So, yeah.
Captain Sam in the house. Good to see you here, bud. They're at Thousand Trails 3 Flags in Wildwood, Florida. Have you been here? Thousand Trails 3 Flags in Wildwood. No. Where is that?
What's that?
They're in Imperial RVing. Is in Thousand Trails 3 Flags in Wildwood.
Oh yeah, that's by the villages in Florida.
Oh, I did not know that. No, we have not been there.
No, we have not been. We have not been to a lot of the ones over there.
Chris and Brenda in from hot Florida. There's a few Floridians on here tonight.
Wow, I'm surprised. And Brian, like, how are you? And Anthony, my trail dropped off a few times.
Yeah, dude, it is so scary.
Like,
I dropped one of the dualies off, like not the whole tire, but luckily because you have the two duals, the outside dual dropped off. Now I don't know if the trailer dropped off or not. I was too busy squeezing my butt cheeks together and making sure I was staying on the road, so I don't know if the trailer and the car maybe dropped off a little bit. Luckily we were in a place where that was okay with that happening. But if you're in a place where the road drops off, you're toast. The trailer is going to drag you over. It's scary. It is really, really scary.
We actually, on the way back, we saw in the bad area, we saw the remains of a trailer that had gone down.
Yeah. On a straight part of the road,
on
too.
A straight, yeah. Somebody not paying attention, I'm assuming, because I don't see how that will have happened. But yeah, it's like accidents happen. Probably
looked like a 28-foot travel trailer just exploded down in the ditch. Just terrible.
Mr. Rhodes, I wish Paul would have had an inside camera when he was going up the steep 9% grade coming out of that town. Well, no, that was.
I wish we had filmed. literally passed a double dump truck going up that road. So
because we were literally crawling on a steep grade.
But it was a part of the road where it was just weaving like this, but you could see, you know, half a mile, 3/4 of a mile up the road, but it was just weaving, weaving, weaving. And I was like, you know, if we don't pass them now, Lori, we're going to be doing 2 miles an hour the entire hill. So I went around them.
And we have been there long enough that you can see the curves, because they were like very small curves. So you can see them, and you can see there was nobody coming. So,
but it was a butt clincher too. It was not fun.
But I would say that was, but we could see nobody was coming, so we could pass. And the truck, he knew what was happening.
The truck knew, and
he will go wide enough so we could pass, no problem.
He stayed way out in his lane.
Way out of his lane, so he was not cutting through, even knowing there was no cars coming. But we got to a totally different hill, like also with twisties, lower grade, but still a long hill. And there is when I didn't see it, because I was actually trying to record on camera how from my side you can see the flip. So I was trying to record, so I was looking at the camera and seeing how it looks. When all of a sudden Paul says, like, I can remember, I think you swore.
I think I said, oh shit.
Something like that. And I look up, and there's an 18-wheeler coming downhill, but he has gone wide on the curve while we're coming up.
We were on the outside of the curve going up, and he come in
on our side. There is literally a clip. That's what I'm trying to record. So I think that was like, oh my god.
That was the scariest one of the entire trip.
The scariest of all the trip. Luckily, he stopped, like literally stopped, and Paul also stopped going uphill. That's hard enough, and just kind of like
just squeezed by.
Themselves
rubbing
out.
The guardrail as the front end of his truck was just rubbing by the front of that. Yeah, it sucked. It was not good.
And like Paul said, it's sometimes not the fact that there's that truck right next to you. It's you don't know if that hill's gonna hold up to it. So it's like, so yeah, that was one of the scary parts. And the second one, and this was not our fault, we're in our lane. It was the other person that came to our lane. But the other one, it was the same thing. It was on that dangerous part of the road, that half day that we just mentioned. That is very tight, very narrow area, and we will pull over and just literally stop. If not almost stop. So trucks will pass us also slow, so we will have enough room and everything. And there's this truck, I don't know if he was
probably watching us we were doing.
There's a theory, like the steering wheel is gonna go to where you're watching, right? So I think he was watching us so much that literally he crossed over the yellow line with his 18-wheeler towards where there is no freaking room at all. So we thought he was just gonna scratch the side of the RV, but he didn't.
He didn't.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
That was the two scares of the trip going north.
What clenches tighter, your grip or your butt cheek? Oh, definitely butt cheek. Definitely. But like my hands were sweating. In some of the roads, it's just crazy. And some of the folks on here, they've driven it. They know it's nuts.
Imperial RVing. Are you still okay towing with the dolly?
Yep. Yeah. Yep. No. Dolly's hooked to the trailer right now, and we're backed up to a lake. So yeah.
We just met a couple here that they follow the channel, and he said that when he saw Paul online, that he was able to back up the dolly. It's when he went all in.
He taught himself how to do it. So he said once he didn't have to unhook it, it changed the game for him.
Yeah. So he said he appreciated that, and also said, and now people watch me backing up the dolly because they're impressed that I can do it. It's just all about practicing. It's like once you practice backing that thing, it's like backing up the whole rig in. Like if not like you didn't have the dolly, but you know how to handle the dolly.
So I don't think they're on here, but hey, Jenny and Craig, they're literally Jenny Craig. The couple. So but yeah, he was all excited that he kept unhooking the dolly. He saw me do it, and he's like, well, I just thought you were supposed to unhook it, and so he never did after that. But yeah, no, I'm okay with it. If we got a vehicle, I mean, this one could be towed 4 down, but they're just not really meant for it. There's a lot of vehicles that tow 4 down that are just really not meant for it. You're still supposed to start them up every now and then, let the fluids run through the training and all that kind of stuff. The only thing that's really optimal for 4 down is a Jeep. That's what's optimal. Yeah, there's other things you can tow 4 down, but they're just not optimal. They should still be started every hour or two and fluids run through them. So if you've got a Jeep, if we bought a Jeep, which I would love to have, yeah, I would probably go to towing 4 down for sure. But what I'm looking at now, and this is going to make Aid lose his mind, I would love to get an electric front wheel drive that I can tow on the dolly and then have an electric vehicle to drive around.
He has been researching.
I've been researching. There's only two though, and they're not the most attractive. One is the Hyundai Kona. Not bad looking, but I'm just not a Hyundai fan.
Small, very small SUV.
Small SUV, and then the Chevrolet Bolt are both front wheel drive options that you can put on a dolly. But yeah, you can't tow an electric 4-down. So, but anyways, if we did a Jeep, which is really, for me, it's one of the best vehicles to tow 4-down, especially if you like driving off road and adventuring, all that. Yeah, I would go to 4-down. I would say that. Do I think it's easier? I don't think it's any easier or any harder. I don't.
Somebody just told us it was smoother. They said it's like once they moved from dolly to 4-down, they felt the ride was smoother.
Yeah, I don't know how that would be possible unless they had slop in that. They had slop in the hitch. If you have slop in the hitch, I have a thing on the hitch that holds it tight so that the receiver in that doesn't bounce around. I have a thing that tightens that up so that it doesn't do that. So maybe that's what they were talking about. I don't know. But you would still get a little bit of that with, I don't know. It's if I had a vehicle that towed 4-down like a Jeep, I would do that. I would definitely do that. That's just my opinion.
Like Chuck is in the house.
Hey, Chuck just completed the surgery. You were doing the surgery, or are you getting the surgery done? What? Aid. No.
And about the Mexican roads, Mark Fitzroy, that he has driven those roads, he said it's like it's easy. Stay in the middle unless someone is coming. Slow down for incoming traffic. Slam brakes for semis and pray. It's like, yeah, that's how it goes. Like I said, for half a day. It's like yeah, Brian is like his Wrangler, he towed 4-down. Yeah, every Jeep I say.
Yeah, if you have a Jeep, 4-down is easy.
Unless you have a Jeep that cannot be towed 4-down. But there's a few up there. I don't know if current Jeeps are that way, but there's some
just their
older
SUVs, just the Cherokees. I think all of the Wranglers can be towed 4-down. Anything where they have a lockout on the transmission and stuff.
Yeah.
The surgery to change your name to Kate. Okay, Chuck, that's awesome. We accept you however you are.
That's funny. Mr. Roboto, my V10 Class A, I have had to only unlock the towed once on I-70 in Colorado. We tow a Ford Maverick Hybrid, 48 mpg most of the time.
Yep.
That's pretty good.
Hybrid's a good way to go.
Yeah, I think for people that cannot commit to EVs, or you're in an area that is not EV friendly, I think hybrid is the way to go. You can still charge in your house, and when you run out of power, that goes into gas.
Aid says he'd rather have something steam powered than EV.
You hate it that much, don't you? It's like, why?
I love them. I think they're amazing. And I will say that is culture shock in Southern California. Holy smokes!
Everybody drives here.
Everybody drives an electric here. It is craziness how many electrics there are here. It is just absolutely crazy. Every single electric that you can think of, they're driving it here. They have the Ford EVs, the Escape. They have the, what's the other one? The Mach-E, really cool. Of course, just tons and tons of Teslas here. But literally every electric vehicle under the sun. The Ioniq stuff is really popular here, and they're kind of cool looking.
I was just looking at Linda and Jerry. It says like when we tow our 4-wheel, they have a ramp, truck ramp. It's like coach seems more stable and brakes work better.
Oh yeah. When you're towing something, your coach is much more stable because you've got that pressure pulling back on your rear end, so it's not as loosey goosey. I notice that when we're not towing the car, it's a little bit more loose, and then once you put that weight pulling on the back, it helps make it a lot more stable. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And here's two RVers, Dan and Alan. They're like, we tow a Jeep Cherokee Trailhawk 4-down, and it's been great so far. We remember you have that. You very in a baller move. We were having dinner when you actually purchased that Cherokee right there on the table. So.
Yeah, he bought it right on his phone while we were having dinner, man. That's balls moves.
Just give me that one. Yeah, sure. I'll pay whatever.
Yeah. No, I don't think he said I'll pay whatever.
I'll have the cash. Don't worry about it. Damn right. Turn forward down is the way to go if possible.
Oh, that's right. Michael DeBola, he's a Jeep guy too. He's a baller
Yeah.
too, though. Yeah.
Kevin, get a Lucid. I have not seen one, I have to say. I have seen a lot of reviews lately.
Are you talking about a car or is that a drug?
It's a car.
Oh.
Lucid car.
Okay.
Maybe. But I have seen a lot of reviews here. I was not a big fan of them at the beginning, but now that I see them like in person and driving around, actually they're not bad. I like the reviews. Just white up there though.
Aid with the green tag on the number plate. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, and that's the other thing. Every single shopping center that you go to here, full of EV chargers. Like when you go to Costco, full of EV chargers. When you go anywhere,
they're not full.
And not full, but we've seen them pretty close in a lot of spots. But every shopping center, every single shopping center, every major department store, all have EV charging here. So it also makes it that much easier. Now, when we were in Vegas and gas, this was, I don't know, 10 or 15 years ago, when gas started getting up around $4.50 a gallon, I told Lori, when it hits $5, we're going to an EV, because at that point, driving a gas car doesn't make any sense anymore. And so, of course, gas here around a lot of California is $5 a gallon. Actually, the area we're in is right around 4, so it's horrible, but it's not as bad as it was down in Baja. But yeah, when it's $5 a gallon or more, it just makes more sense. Gas has got to be $8 a gallon there, isn't it? $9 a gallon. You either need to get an EV, dude, or you need to get a horse with a wagon. One of the two.
At least a hybrid.
Yeah, hybrid would be good.
Brian says, have you seen the EV 4-door Mustangs? Yeah, the Mach-E's. They're
the
everywhere.
Mach-E Mustang, yeah.
They are everywhere.
They're everywhere down here, yeah. Yeah, I like them. I think they're kind of cool.
Yeah. So my trip down to here, I've seen a lot of EVs. They have a green tag on the number plate to show it's EV. All the one services, all the chargers were full. That's the one, like I mentioned earlier, I've seen that there is availability here on charging. So I think a lot of people charge in their own house, that they don't have to charge when they go somewhere. So that's a California thing, I would say. If you go to a different state that there's not that many chargers, that they're still on the process of kind of like creating more, probably more challenging.
And I will say the 1,000 Trails have in their packets when we check in, don't charge your EV at the post and don't plug into your coach or don't plug into your RV with the EV. But you see people with the EV parked right up close and with the plug rolling over to their RVs. So you know people are doing it anyways.
Yeah.
For me, I would charge it when I'm out, and then I wouldn't have to charge it when I was here. So
well,
either
like
or.
Here, in theory, you already pay the fee to stay in here.
Right.
So
right.
you're not paying extra power for that.
Right.
And when you're going somewhere, you're going to pay for that power.
Right.
I think that's why they do it.
Mr. Roboto, do you use Starlink? Absolutely. It has been a game changer.
If we had
it's amazing. If we'd had it before,
we'll have changed everything.
Changed our travel.
But even right now, it changes everything.
It changes everything. It would have changed travel for Kevin, because Kevin had to be in areas sometimes where he had to be connected, and we just couldn't get out certain spots. So we would have to make sure that we at least could use WeBoost and be able to have connectivity of some sort.
Or sometimes we will split our trips, because we will go ahead, he will stay behind, and vice versa. I need to get there early so I can be in the call, we will stay behind. So sometimes we split on our trips because of that too. Yeah. But if there would have been Starlink back then, definitely a game changer. And I will say nowadays, because a few years ago when the sales and everything, they were busy and people were complaining about like, oh, I bought this expensive system, right? And I cannot even watch TV. It's like, that was a few years ago, but all that is gone. I mean, it works amazing right now.
It's been amazing.
Obviously, we're in a very populated area right now.
Yeah, we're using it right now, and it's not, it's probably 80 or 100 down. It's not huge, but it's better than campground Wi-Fi. The campground Wi-Fi will be 10 or 15 down. It's going to be terrible, and 2 or 4 up, something like that. When we were just up in Idlewild, no phones working at all, but our Starlink rocked, and it was 180 to 200 down and 15, 20 up in Idlewild. So in the middle of nowhere, where we would normally have been worried about where we, are we going to be connected or not. Lori, when she was stock trading, we would get out some places, and you're in various stock positions when you can't check it and see where you are. It's freaky. Like it's not good.
Especially at the beginning of our travels, when we're still trying to learn the ways. of technology, of internet. It was within the first 2 months that took me to gather all that information. And yeah, it was, I think, within the first month that I went into Big Bend National Park with trades in, and when I got out of the park and I had to sales signal again, I had lost a bunch of money. So it's like, that sucked. That really, really sucked.
So that would have been a game changer for you, for sure, because you could
100%.
watch stocks 24/7.
Not only that, allows you to stay in places you want to stay. If we would have had that going to Big Bend, we might have stayed there longer, because now I can work while having a pretty view, instead of actually, we have only so many days here because we need to get out, because we need to get to work and keep doing our thing. So it's like, yeah, it's definitely amazing.
$2.65 a gallon in Florida right now. Yeah, I would think that average nationwide is probably $2.50 or so. Have you noticed how many electric scooters there are now? Oh yeah, every kid here has an electric scooter, like every single one.
Or bike.
Or electric bike, yeah. Or an electric motocross bike. So many of them. Again, I love it. I'm going to have one here at some point. A scooter of some sort.
Or a bike.
A bike, like an electric bike again, because I loved having the electric bike when I was in Alaska. I just loved it.
Yeah, but all the kids here going to from school use them in electric bikes or electric scooters. It's very, very popular around here. Yeah.
See, Anthony right now, 300 meg in Los Barrios with Starlink. Yeah. Yeah, because if you're in an area, we never got to 300 in where we were.
Mid 200s where we were.
Yeah. We were 240, 250. So 300, that's awesome, dude.
And right now here, I think it just varies depending on the time of the day. I think right now we're 60 to 120, like about that.
$1.94 per liter. So it's 3.8 liters a gallon. So let's say 4. So you're almost $8 a gallon. Ouch.
Ooh. That is expensive. Well, Europe is always expensive when it comes to fuel.
Yeah.
Mexico is more expensive than even California.
Peace out, Brenda. Brenda's rolling out.
Hi, Brenda. But we made the numbers, and in Baja was about 520 to 550 a gallon. So for us coming to California, that we have seen it here, like we have been filling up at 397, 395 at Costco or stuff like that. So it's like, yeah, it was significant savings for us. Obviously, not as cheap as Florida, not as cheap. I saw New Mexico super cheap. Many places very cheap, but yeah, not as cheap, but still pretty better than what we were paying.
Did we get our Starlink in Mexico? We did. We actually bought it in Mexico, and we're paying Mexico prices. So it's pretty reasonable so far, until they tell us that we have to knock it off and change countries. So we'll see. Yeah. We had other friends that bought down there, and they haven't been told yet. So, right?
Well, Deb and Randy.
Deb and Randy, are you still using yours?
You're still using yours or not? Like, let us know what's going on with your Starlink, because they bought it in Mexico too, and they're in Canada. So
in English, it's pound 42.
Or how do you call it? I see TV shows with quid. They call it quid too, or that's different. Quid.
Quid.
That's how they call it.
Oh yeah. You can say 5 quid. Yeah, that's a really old school term.
We love our electric e-bikes.
Yep.
We will get there.
Yeah, those are super popular. The electric.
Yeah, that's not. We're still paying pesos. Watching you guys right now with it. See, so they have been using it for quite a while now. So there's hope. There's hope that they will not change, because we're paying, I think, about because it fluctuates. You pay pesos or whatever the exchange is. So it's between $85 to $90. But I don't know how much is here in the U.S. But I think it's 125 to 150, something like that. But also, they just raised the prices in Mexico in pesos. But Starlink told us that they were gonna refund the difference. So we got grandfathering on the price that we got.
Right. It was just for new service.
It's for new service only. Yeah.
The one thing I hate about Starlink, the only thing, is that they don't have any kind of connectivity where we could maybe put a connection outside with a cover on it, like a Cat 5 connection, and plug the Starlink into that connection and put the Starlink out. We literally, like when we stopped here, we put the Starlink out the window, and it's got lots of cable on it, and we put it way out behind the RV so it has good view to the north. But you can't disconnect it and like plug it into another thing. So it's kind of a pain in the ass in that respect. I know there's probably guys out there that have adapters and things, but that is one thing that kind of sucks about it. Maybe the minis are different. I don't know. So let me know if the minis are different. But we literally plug in our router. It's attached to the, or plug in a power pack that's attached to the router. The router has the hard wire line to the Starlink dish. And so, yeah, you can't put it through a wall. So we have to put it out a window. Kind of sucks.
Yeah. I would say the one thing, Starlink, we had the generation 2 and it was not working right. It was taking too long to connect. So they sent us a new equipment, and they sent us a generation 3 for free, an exchange for free.
Right.
I would say that has been amazing, that service. And we miss our Gen 2 because you will just hit a button on your app and it will just look for the best way or the best like whatever. Now you have to set up. You have to be with your phone and trying to figure out where to put it.
It's not that bad. I normally hit it out of the park.
He already knows north and a little bit west, right?
Yes.
Or east, something like that.
Yeah, I just go out with my phone on Google Maps, find out where north is, and I know if I point it north and tilt a little bit west, that I'm going to be close. Seeking Serenity, you don't hate the $160 a month rate. We don't pay $160 a month.
Like I say, 85 to 90 is what we pay.
85 to 90.
Because we purchased it in Mexico, so we're paying in pesos and just with the exchange.
And here's what you can do on your cell service. You don't have to have full unlimited data on cell anymore. Like you can just get a cheap cell plan, and now we have Starlink. Where before we used to have 2 phones on AT&T. We also had a hotspot on Verizon, and we had a hotspot on T-Mobile. So we were paying like $250 or more.
No, I think we were paying about $400 when we started. That we needed it all. It was about $450 we were paying just on service, just on cell phone.
Yeah,
stay connected.
Because you might go into one area and AT&T doesn't work, but Verizon did, and you might go into another area where Verizon doesn't work and AT&T doesn't work, but T-Mobile did. And so it was what we did so that we could stay connected, especially for Lori's trading.
Pre-Starlink. This is
pre-Starlink.
So that didn't exist, so you had to go that route. We had AT&T when we left Las Vegas, and we realized it worked very well in Las Vegas, but national parks tend to be a Verizon area. So then we got into Verizon, and then we got into T-Mobile. So all the time we have to match, plus all the devices that you have to have for Wi-Fi.
Then they have to have a Wii Boost and a Wi-Fi Ranger.
Yeah. So we start having like all the gadgets, and all that costs hundreds of dollars.
And all of that's gone away.
All that has
we don't need any of it anymore. We don't need the Wii Boost anymore, so we don't need to boost our cell. We don't care. And we don't need the Wi-Fi Ranger anymore. We don't need to boost our Wi-Fi. We don't care. We toss out the Starlink, and you are done. So would I be okay at $160 a month? Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a no-brainer, really.
Well, and again, it depends for what you need it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
If we were retired, we're not working, we're just like, we're staying in touch with family, probably it will not be okay. Probably will downsize somehow with that kind of stuff. So, but we can watch our movies with no problem.
Yeah.
Right? So, and Chuck said that he actually paid $2.26 a gallon, and that just opened Buc-ee's in Mississippi last Tuesday. I would say traveling through East Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, it was the cheapest fuel we have seen on our travels. Those, like that area right there, super cheap fuel.
I'm laughing at Kevin. He said the stuff is available. Just Google that shit. And then I'm acting like a boomer. And then Mike DeBolt said, I am a boomer. Yes, I am.
Why are you acting like a boomer?
Because I didn't know that there was, I assumed there was, but I didn't look, the connectivity stuff for Starlink.
Oh.
But then Chuck, he just put his dropped it into a bay, and he uses a separate router for that. I'm too lazy for all that stuff. I just want it to be simple. But I guess if it's already set up, it's already set up. That's hilarious.
Yeah. By the way, yes, I'm learning my lingo. So when I go to UK, I can blend in. It's like with the quick stuff.
Yeah, see, free Wi-Fi in the UK, right? Free for $8.31 a month. That's kind of cool. So is that a public thing? So you pay it and then it's available in public? That it's a different world over there, right?
Mark, can you get Starlink at Costco in Mexico now? Not at Costco, in Home Depot, Mexico. They sell it right there if you want it. I think Home Depot here in the US too. So just Home Depot. What? If you're gonna reread it
Kevin.
loud.
Kevin says, I had to speak to Paul. Didn't want to throw out too many words that could confuse him. Oh, geez, Kevin.
Yeah,
I
it
need to
says
adjust my glasses.
8 says yes, my provider is BT for myself. So
Very cool.
is a provider. Yeah, many countries have so much cheaper cell phone plans and connectivity and data. Like yes,
In Europe and other parts of the world, yeah, it's expensive.
It's more expensive in Canada too. Even
Yeah,
more in the US.
connectivity is expensive in Canada, like horribly expensive in Canada, and then a little bit here compared to the rest of the world. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that has been the beginnings of us here in the US. Like the one thing Paul told me is like the one thing he noticed about Mexico or Mexicans versus the US is like he told me Mexicans mind their own business. It's like
Yep.
they just keep to themselves, do their own things, they don't criticize, don't talk about others. It's like
Well, not to their face. I mean, they talk
oh
about
yeah,
others, but
we
not
keep it very yeah. It's like I grew up in a Catholic family. We just talk about behind the backs of people. That's what we do.
like
So,
like in Mexico, you can have a hideous block party or a hideous house party, blow up the block. You know, music playing and blaring all night on a Saturday night. Loud, yes. Yeah, like just loud. A loud party on a Saturday night, blow it up. Everybody on the block can hear it. Nobody calls the cops. Nobody phones in a complaint. It's just, it's a party that happens that night, and it is what it is.
We have like seen that society here has become very touchy, very
and like
you cannot say anything, comment anything. Like you can say, oh, it's a nice weather day, and somehow becomes political. It's like, yeah, it's very that in that respect, it has been a cultural shock to be back here in that respect.
But here, like, if a neighbor's loud, everybody's on their phone calling somebody to complain. It's just the way it is, and it just doesn't happen down there. If your dog barks down there, dogs bark. It's a dog barking, whatever. It's
well,
just
now we have talked about also there is like different things that I like from the U.S. Like I know a lot of people don't like communities with HOA. I do. I'm coming from Mexico. I do. Why? Because the community all looks maybe the same, maybe cookie cutter, however you want to call it, but it looks nice. It just helps visually. It's just nice. Go to Mexico. You're gonna buy your house and you put it all pretty up, and then somebody rents next to you, and all of a sudden they have 10 cars in front. They're doing mechanics, and they put also like a little grocery shop right there. Like there is no zoning, there is no HOAs, there is HOAs in Mexico. Don't get me wrong.
Right, sure,
but
sure.
It's not your majority. It's not your main thing.
Oh, like when we were tearing our motorhome apart right in the middle of the street, taking the whole front end off the motorhome, and we went to the neighbors to apologize. We knocked on doors and said, "Hey, we're sorry," and they're like looking at us like, "What? For what?" And we're like, "Well, we're doing mechanic work, right?" And they're like, "So, like we don't care." Mm-hmm. If you did that here, like you just park your motorhome on somebody's street, they're going to be calling the cops. Come and get that piece of shit off of our street. So.
Yeah, so that's the one thing we've seen as a difference between countries, right? It's like right now everybody here is very touchy.
Kevin says he's calling the cops on us right now. It's like, hey, there's a boomer in the RV park who doesn't know how to use Google. You need to go pick him up.
Yeah, he's like, taking Serenity. I got the 9 press. Where is the 11?
Exactly.
It's a Roboto. How is Ozzy doing? He's doing good. I mean, he's not liking travel days. He's not used to it anymore, so he's getting extremely stressed on travel days. I think he's trying to get used to it a little bit more. But once he gets to the destination, he just wants out. He just wants to see the new place, the new smells. And when we were in Idlewild with the pines and the squirrels, he will be out all the time. So much that we had to bring him in many times because he was not bothering the birds, but the birds were going crazy after him, especially crows and stuff like that. But he's loving it. He's not loving it here that much because such a busy campground, this one, that
we don't let him out.
I don't let him out because there's many dogs walking around on a leash. Sometimes he cannot run as fast as he can or jump as fast as he can. So in that respect, he has slowed down, but he's doing good in general. He's like, I'm not gonna say great. He's just doing okay. So yes. Oh wow.
Visible has been a good provider. I think we had Visible at one time too. I don't know. We had so many providers at one point that just to try different things, we were just we just tried little bits and pieces of everything.
Come on.
Speaking of Ozzy, come on up here, buddy. He just came in. He must have heard his name being called, so
he got hot back there.
Gap in the Starlink chain for a couple of seconds. That's funny. All right, I think that's about it for tonight. We've been on a little over an hour. Apologize, Aid, for the late hour, but like we were like, okay, the one guy that's going to complain is going to be Aid because he's going to be, up till 2 o'clock in the morning. But
Kevin there, he says, where do you set up the litter box? It's like we have 3 cats and it's going to be a challenge.
Set it up on Lori's side of the bed.
No, it's behind the passenger seat. So when you're driving, there's a gap there, and that's away from the kitchen, that's away from our bedroom, that's away of the dining. So he has his little area by the passenger area.
We have a desk right where you come in the door, and so it's between that desk and Lori's chair.
Yeah, we used
it's
to
not
have,
ideal, but
most RVs, they have a chair, and we took out the chair and put the desk. So it's between the desk and the passenger's chair.
Yeah.
And he seems to be fine because it's also open with cats. You cannot enclose them too much, or they don't like it. They will not go there. So it's open enough that he's okay.
We will say that Fresh Steps kitty litter is pretty much the only one that we can use in here.
No.
It's the best one that we use.
No.
What's the one that we've been using?
Oh my God, you experts on all things.
What is it?
It's like,
I thought it was Fresh Steps.
I have used Fresh Steps and it's very dusty. The one I have found out to be not as dusty and it works like a charm with smells and clumping and everything is what's the little logo? Arm & Hammer.
Arm & Hammer, that's right.
Like
Sorry. Multi-cat Arm & Hammer.
Yeah.
That is right. That is right.
I've been trying many, believe me. Actually,
because if you don't, when they're doing their thing and there's dust all over the freaking place,
the one we just got rid of, it was Fresh Step.
Yeah.
It's like, I happened to buy, I did not see the label. In Mexico, you buy what you can get. And I saw bags and they were on sale of Fresh Step. And I just saw Fresh Step and I was like, perfect, I buy it. It was non-clumping. So that was a bust. So it was terrible.
Yeah. Yep.
But anyway.
But make sure that you get something that doesn't cause a whole lot of dust because they will be like just. Come here, buddy. Come on. Everybody wants to say hello.
You never carry him, so he's like, what?
He's like, why are you picking me up? There he is. Say hey, buddy. He's not liking this.
He has his ear down, like, let me go, sir. I don't know who you are.
Go to mommy. He is such a fat boy.
He lost weight, actually. He lost weight.
There's the Ozmeister.
Yeah, there's a little, but his little leg on the right doesn't work this one very well. So
Mike says we used to be scheduled to 3 a.m. We can keep going. Yes, we did keep some crazy hours at Disney for sure.
I know. It's like no anymore.
Liza freaks out when the slides come in. Yeah. Oh, Ozzy too. That's his cue that we're going to start moving, and he needs to hide. So as soon we put the back slide in first, and as soon as we do that, he jumps over and goes down in here, and he goes behind here, and this is where he rides, is in behind, kind of under the back of the sofa.
We need to change this sofa, but it's going to be a challenge to change the sofa because there is a gap. It has to be a specific measurement, so he keeps his gap where he hides, basically.
Yeah. So that he can continue to go in there. So that's going to be something that we have to wait on. Hey, Tim, we're going to be down in San Diego, dude, but it's going to be literally 4 days, and it's going to be craziness down there. So we were going to try and do, meetups or something down in there. We're just not going to have time to do that. So unfortunately.
How old is Ozzy? 12. He's 12 already. And the reason he's saying here is you can take and pat his back because he has created a hump here. So when I pat his, you can see his little eyes. Like he's like, oh yeah, that's the spot.
He's what, 14 pounds? 16 pounds?
I don't know. I know in kilos.
How many kilos is he?
18.
No, that can't be possible.
Yeah, it's on his paperwork.
If he was 18 kilos, he would be
9, 10
Is
pounds.
every kilo, a kilo is 2.5 pounds. So that make him 36 pounds. He has to be maybe 8 kilos.
Maybe 6, yeah. I just said it at one.
Like 18 kilos.
That's
I'm like, that's a big cat.
I'm not fat shaming you, Ozzy.
You fat boy.
Sorry, 8 pounds. Or a little bit over 8 pounds, actually. So, yeah, he's a big boy. I don't see him as a big boy, but every time we go to the vet or somebody sees him, it's like, oh my God, that's a big boy.
Arcanum Society meeting after the video. Coming soon to a channel near you.
Yeah, actually, Mark Fitzroy
I saw that.
asked about.
Yeah, Mr. Rossos, he got 39 pounds. So Donald, our new travel plans. So Southern California, like we really don't have plans. So our initial plan was to go up to Northwest and up into maybe Washington and that, and then our other plan was to go over into Colorado and invade Kevin's space, but I don't think we're going to go over there now. We're just going to kind of stay here because we don't know if we're going to go back down into Baja next year or next winter or what yet. We don't have that hashed out. So when our initial plan was to do some more traveling, but it's all changed with the whole engine thing and all that, and it now being late in the year.
And now the car, like between.
It's like
between stuff doing the RV, between the car, working on the stuff that we have to work. You're working with Kevin as well. It's just like too much. So we definitely need the time to stay in areas to tackle all that. So we're not gonna be like before the word travel because we had the time back then. So it's like right now, it's like we're lacking time right now. Like every time we look at the watch, it's like, oh my God, it's 5 o'clock already. I only have so many hours. So it's like we're always right now competing with time.
Kevin said it's going to be called the sedentary nation now.
Instead of vacation. We're still gonna have we just went out.
You're a funny bastard, Miller.
Like looking at some stuff like this past few days, so we have recorded a few things. So there's still a lot of content coming out. Like we're starting to travel again. We're just slow paced traveling.
There's some secret plans coming out soon.
Yeah, some people here already hinted.
Some people here are already hinting on it, but we can't let the whole cat out of the bag yet. But we are going to be traveling in some parts of California for sure, and don't know how much more out of here we're going to be doing. We don't have any control over that.
Oh my God. Yeah. So there's a lot to do in this area. Don't get me wrong. A lot to do in this area. So much actually we're talking that we're gonna miss a lot of areas that we like in this area, but we just don't have the time to go to that area because we're gonna keep moving, right? That's the whole idea. We're gonna keep moving, but yeah. Have you ever stopped in Yuma? Yes, we stopped there. Every time we go to Mexico from Mexico or around Portside, yeah, we have been in Yuma. So we have been in Yuma a few times.
Yep. A great city in the spring, fall, maybe even winterish. Not so much in the summer. It's another one of those just brutal places to be in the summer.
When we went to Palm Springs, it was 111 degrees.
Yeah.
111.
When we picked up the batteries.
And it's when the cars are having problems. So we were driving at 111 degrees with the car overheating. So we have to roll down our windows, turn on the heater so we can carry that heat out of the engine on 111 degrees. It was just like,
it was fun. God. It was a lot of fun. Driving down Interstate 10, windows open, heater on, 111 degrees.
My hair all on my face, just like, yeah.
And then Carl's Jr. didn't have Beyond Burgers, damn it.
Yeah, Flagstaff is always fun time.
Yeah, Flagstaff was on our short list of places to go do summer. It was like Flagstaff, Southern, the south rim of the Grand Canyon, all of that area up there, Williams.
It was very limiting. It's a very specific area where it's cool at night. So yeah, that's why we decided in California, because we can still travel slowly but surely and still stay on nice weather, nice nights. Right now it's a heat wave. I mean, everybody's going through it, but it's not always like
that. But if you stay in this spine of the Sierras here in the south, or even through middle of California, the temps are pretty good. And then, of course, like we said, if you go over to the coast, the temps are just amazing. Mid 70s yesterday, and it was awesome over there. But
that's not. If you still like golf, Hammett have some nice courses.
We did see that over there.
Price. Well, Hammett was very hot here this time of the year, but we left our golf clubs in Baja, so we're not traveling with our golf clubs right now.
It's the first time we haven't had our golf clubs with us in 10 years, so it's crazy.
It feels weird, even though we didn't use them.
It feels weird not having a. I know. We don't even have a putter to go up to the putting thing and do that sort of thing. Gig Harbor, Washington, beautiful this time of year. We have friends that live up there, and they were wanting us to come up there, and that was part of the plan, was to get up there and do the Tacoma, Seattle, Gig Harbor area. But yeah, we're not going to make it all the way up there now. Lassen National Park. I've heard of that, Lori, but I don't know where that is. I don't know if that's California or not. But anyways, 6:20. Let's call it. Let's call it a night.
I'm just surprised how long he stay here. He usually doesn't stay here at all. Really loud. So.
Thanks for the litter advice. Have a great night. Thanks for the great last Saturday live. Please hit that like button. Please hit that like button, everybody. Outside of Redding, California. Yes, Lassen. Absolutely. Kevin, love you, dude. Everybody in Sedentary Nation, you guys rock.
No, that's not gonna stick. That's not gonna stick. Adventure Nation, good night.
Good night, everybody.
I forgot the Jim Carrey movie.
Jim Carrey movie?
Yeah, where he's saying good morning, good evening, good night, something like that.
Good morning, good evening, and good night. That was the Truman Show?
The Truman Show, I think. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about San Diego, the Anchorman, but we can't say that one. The he'll read anything on the teleprompter. Chuck, all you guys, see you. Hope to see some of you on the road. If you're out somewhere and you see us, definitely stop and say hello.
And don't forget, next Saturday is all the members.
First Saturday live with members, yeah.
So don't forget about that. So we'll tune out for that one next Saturday. See you guys.
See ya. Bye.
Come on, Ozzy.
Hit the button, Lori. Hit the button.